starting on page 10. Good Shabbos, everybody. Page 10, Yidin Nefesh.
Oh, okay. See, it says this one. Yidin Nefesh.
I know.
Yeah. Oh. You're right.
Yidin Nefesh, page 10. Ay, ay, ay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, 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 yay. Ay, ay, ay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, 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 yay. Yay, yay. Yidin Nefesh. Yidin Nefesh. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome in, everyone. It is so nice to see everybody. How's everybody doing? Good? Fantastic. We're going to start with our candle lighting this evening. Forgive me that I don't know your last names. Bob and Les are going to come up and light our candles for us tonight. And there's only 2 juice cups, so I will let you guys drink it, and I will skip because I don't like it anyway. Oh, okay. Then I'll drink them. All right. Candle lighting is here. Kiddush starts over here. So Bob's going to do the Hebrew, and then you can read the English. Okay? Is that okay? All right. Fantastic. We are on page 2 of our Siddur. Amen. Okay. You don't want a juice? Okay. We welcome in the Shabbat. We sanctify it with words of creation on page 4. Vayehi erev vayehi boker yom hashishi vayakulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam vayachol Elohim vayom hashvihi melachto asher asa vayishbo vayom hashvihi mikol melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvihi vayikadesh oto Kivod Shabbat, Mikol Malakto. Kivod Shabbat, Mikol Malakto. Asher bara, Asher bara, Asher bara, Elohim la'asot. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei bori hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav. V'ratzavanu, v'shavat kosho, v'ahavat v'ratzon, v'kilanu, zikaron le'maaseh, v'reishit, v'yom tehillah, l'mikroi kodesh, zecher l'siyat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, v'yotam. read the blessing in English. Read the candlelighting blessing in English. I want Les to be able to participate.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who house us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Thank you.
That's my part.
Thank you. You are so welcome. Any good news to share this week? Michael.
I got my test results back, and everything was negative.
Baruch Hashem.
Thank God, and I thank Mark for turning me on to you, and I thank Rabbi Masha for helping me get through everything.
Well, you are quite welcome. Welcome. Stephen.
Second time.
Oh, the Shabbat Torah. So, when we find out that a woman is expecting, we don't say Mazal Tov. We say the Shabbat Tova.
What's,
What?
happy hour?
I don't know that part. The Shabbat Tova is in a year of good. Should be a good year. Because, women. Okay. Well, for Shabbat Tova, please extend our wishes, our good wishes. Anybody else? Les.
Last Saturday, Bob and I celebrated 34 years.
Mazal Tov, yes. Seth and I are coming up on 33 in a couple weeks, so we'll have a little party. I just said that to someone before, and he's like, if I make it that far. Just to say, the stress level in the Weinstein household is a little high. Someone said to me, what are you doing this weekend? I said, I have 4 sermons to write for the holidays, so that's all. I invite you to come down into the well. We're going to start with Shalom Aleichem. If you're comfortable joining us in our circle of life, as we welcome, you're standing up? Okay, I'll come over to you. As we welcome the Shabbos angels.
Don't step in his foot.
I like to stay in the middle. Okay. You're walking better than you are.
I'll go over here.
I love those shoes. They're like green. Those are pretty cool. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharim, Malachei Elyon, V'melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, V'melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, V'melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, V'melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbos. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to offer my apology for all the typos in the newsletter. I am sorry, Gary, that I made you into dark. I'm running on very little sleep, and I wake up in the middle of the night. Or today, it was I had a total temper tantrum about something, and we're in the car driving down here. I'm like, okay, now I have a sermon idea. I wake up in the middle of the night. Oh, I had a dream. Okay, I have a sermon idea. Because, this is the big thing. Seth likes to say it's the Super Bowl. If it doesn't involve football, it's not the Super Bowl. But still, it's the big thing. So, it's a little bits of oversights here and there. I'm sorry. I apologize. Larry's going away, so in the meantime, Seth will proofread them before they go out, as he does with everything I write. So we'll work on the typos. I invite you to turn to page 16 as we read together at the bottom of the page, the English reading. Sing praise to Adonai with the lyre and melodious song. Continue.
The
Trumpets and the blast of the horn, raise a shout for Adonai the moon. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and its inhabitants. Let the rivers clap their hands, mountains sing joyously. God has kept the holy hour, God will rule the world. L'chado D is on page 20 and 21. L'chado D, l'chakala, yalala, 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 Shabbat, l'chakala, l'chado D, l'chakala, yalala, 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 Shabbat, l'chakala. Shamor v'zachor. Shamor v'zachor, Divor echad, Ishtianu el ha'echad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, Shemo tiferet, L'Vitzil l'Avachadoti, L'Echadoti, L'Pratzala, Yadamai, Yadamai, B'nei Shabbat, L'Kavela, L'Echadoti, L'Pratzala, Yadamai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, L'Kavela, L'Ikrat Shabbat, L'Ikrat Shabbat, L'Chulim Yachal, Kili L'Kor, Ha'aracha, Nerosh K'kedem, Nesucha, Sofa Aseh, L'Mat Shabbat, L'Chadoti, L'Chadoti, L'Chakala, Yadamai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, L'Kavela, L'Chadoti, L'Chakala, Yadamai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, L'Kavela, Hitorari, Hitorari, Kiva Omer, Kuriori, Uri, Uri, Shirnaferi, Moradona, Hamayatni, L'Chadoti, L'Chadoti, L'Chakala, Yadamai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, L'Kavela, L'Chadoti, L'Chakala, Yadamai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, L'Kavela. If you're comfortable doing so, just rise and face the doorway. Mo'im Shalom, Ateret B'Lai, Gam V'Simcha, U'Zola, Token Unei, Ha'Tzidila, Bo'Ikala, Bo'Ikala, L'Chadoti, L'Chadoti, L'Pratzala, Yadamai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, L'Kavela, L'Chadoti, L'Pratzala, Yadamai, 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 B'nei Shabbat, L'Kavela. And we're seated and we turn to page 26. We'll join together in the Chatzikash. Yitzgadav, Yitzgadash, Shemei Rabbah, Yamad Yirachim B'tei, V'yamlich Mach B'tei, V'chayecho, U'yomecho, U'chayei V'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ba'agala, U'bizman Karim, V'yiveru, Yeshmei Rabbah Mevara, V'yalam Olam Me'amaya, Yitzvarach, Yitzvarach, Yitztabach, Yitzvabar, Yitzromam, Yitzasei, Yitzadar, Yitzaleh, Yitzhalal, Shri Kusha, Rihu, Le'elah, Mikol Berchata, L'Shirata, Lemata Benet, Lemata Damiran Bialma, Vivaru. We turn to page 28, and if you're comfortable doing so, please rise for the bar field. Page 32. Please read the English at the bottom of the page. Everlasting love.
Teach us Torah and its laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, we lie down and rise up.
We will meditate on your laws and commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them. For they are life, and doing them lengthens our days.
Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Ahavat Olam, just about it. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Ahavat Torah u'mitzvot, u'vil mishpati, otanu levata. Akein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shofreinu u'bekumeinu, nasayach bechukecha, v'nishmat v'divrei Torah v'techa, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Yirei v'ayenu, v'yoreh yoneinu, u'bahem neged yomam v'layla. Yahavatecha atashir l'imenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Amo Yisrael. Is there anybody here for the first time tonight? I didn't think so, but I figured I was. We turn to the words of Shema on page 34 and 35. As we close our eyes and take a breath, we let the week go past. We relax our way into the Shabbat. However you choose to spend your Shabbat, allow it to refresh you, to reinvigorate you, or even just to allow you to relax. We breathe in deeply and breathe through the words of the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto L'Olam Va'ed. Page 36, Word of Torah. Yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha v'b'chol nafshecha v'b'chol ma'ametecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levanecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha v'uletecha v'shavtecha v'kumecha v'shartam leot anadecha v'hayu tzotzatot einecha v'utamtam al mezuzot b'beitecha v'visharecha. Jewish education quiz. Who knows what those words are speaking of? Aside from Stephen. And Stephen knows. Bind them as a sign on your hand and serve as symbols before your eyes. What is that? It's a fill-in. Fill-in. The words of the V'ahavta are inside our mezuzah and in the tefillin. It's straight out of the Torah. Please turn to page 40 for our Michamocha. We read about redemption at every service. If you pray 3 times a day, it's always there. And there are many ways that we are redeemed. This talks about the redemption in the Torah. And it's that important that we say it every week. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedor ha'kodesh, Norah tehilot, oseh felech, Norah tehilot, oseh felech, malchutecha, ba'ulanecha, bokei Aram, Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeh yamru, Adonai Yimloch, Adonai Yimloch, L'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki v'Adonai Yaakov, u'ga'alo mi'achazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Hashkivenu is on page 42 if you would like the Hebrew or our study in our bulletin. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'idenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'idenu shomreinu l'chaim. as we prepare for our central prayers of our worship, we rise, if you are comfortable doing so, for Adonai's time. We'll do our traditional melody tonight. We pray out loud through page 52, and then silently through 62, and as always, if what we're doing at this point isn't meeting your needs, please find something else to read, to straight dominating, or pray silently to yourself. Page. Oh, hello. 46. Adonai, Sivatati Ufi, Yagita Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, let my mouth declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Eloheinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Ha'gibor Ha'norah, El Elyon, Omer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Ha'kol, V'zocher Chasdei V'imahot, V'mevi Ulali Nevneihem, L'ma'at Shemo V'yahavah, Melech Ozer Moshiach L'magi, Baruch atah Adonai, Magid Avraham, Yetzrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayim Eitim Atah, Rav L'Hoshia, Morid Hatah, Mechalkel Vayim Bechesed, Mechayim Eitim Beracham Rabbi, Torech Nofim Nerofei Cholim, Umasir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Mishenei Afar, Michamocha Avirurot, Umidon Elav, Melech Meimid, Umechayeh, Umasmiach Yeshua, V'nema Natalakayot Meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMeitim, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, V'Kadoshim B'Kol Yom, Yahalalim V'Selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael. Oseh Shalom, Oseh Shalom b'Romav, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'Romav, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'Romav, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael. That setting is written by a composer named Michael Hunter Oakes, who, when Zach was in graduate school at Vanderbilt, he was the composer in residence at Congregation Micah outside of Nashville. And Zach was teaching Hebrew school there, and I was so insanely jealous because I love his music. Michael Hunter Oakes. So if you have a chance to Google him, he's got a really, really, really amazing Micha Mocha that I love, that I actually go in and watch the video periodically. We couldn't do, it's not really, it's just like a song. It's not like for services, but it was actually commissioned for one of the synagogues in New York by the cantor. So it's really, really kind of cool. So, but it's more like a performance piece, but it's still great. So anyway, healing list. I'm looking at the art set list. Okay. Our healing list tonight. Keith Perlman, Linda Wachtel, Ed Booker, Donna Bricker-Arnell, Joyce Aftab, Judy Shulman, Jessup Bauer, Mark Hunter Seymour, Jay Rossing, Lauren Melman, Beverly Green Weston, Sharon Graber, Carol Haroni, Louis Levin, Luis O'Connell, Dick Squire, Ronald Pierre, Lily Abad, Maxine Alcroto, Ira Nunes, Cheryl Zolotar, Barbara Melman, Amy Mizell, Joel Leviton, Chad Rubin, Jesse Monteagudo, Leslie Doherty, Roy Mitchell, Rachmiel Avram Ben Leah, Michael Cutler, Nina Breton, Sylvia Kadosh, Jerry Besson, Andrew Ellie Perlman, Bruce Rhodes, Rabbi Fred Natkin, David Ari Ben Elka, Alan Mitchell, David Canal, Christopher Richard Pitts Jr., Clark Perryman, Esther Cohen, Alan Youngelson, Chuck Carroll, Malka Bat Elka, Moshe Ben Chava, Bill Potter, Don Rubin, Ronald Blank, Sarah Bat Elisheva, Ruvain Ben Hadassah, Robert Culler, Wendy Darrow, Robert David Mark, Don Squire, Tim Cuney, Ephraim Ben Daniel, Debbie Melman, Patty Melman, Michael Boleg, Myra Ben Sarah, Chaim David, Tom Rea, Harry Woodside, Tom Keenan, Mark Harris, Marsha Kaya, Wendy Dworkin. As my eyes go around the room, are there any other names from Mishabeirach tonight?
Deanie Wynn and Judy Stack.
Ben Bass.
Page 253. We sing the Mishabeirach together. Wishing speedy healing to everyone, including my brother-in-law who has COVID.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out how he got it. Well, he's a doctor. That's how he got it. He must be so miserable. I'll call him tomorrow. Source and strength. We read the English at the bottom of the page. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over the cabin of your peace. Set your light and truth to all who lead and advise.
Guide them with your good counsel, establish peace in the land, and fullness of joy for all the world.
We're going to sing our setting of Avinu Shabbat Shemayim tonight. It is in your bulletin because I actually got an email from my friend who wrote it. So we're going to honor him by singing it because it's beautiful. Wrote that, Sheldon Lowe. He was a singer-songwriter, kind of like Joe, traveling the country and all that. You know Sheldon Lowe?
No.
You know him, or you?
No, I mean, he came to the synagogue. Not this one.
Not this one, no. I would love to bring him and his wife, Dara, and they're amazing. But he did that for a really, really long time, and then all of a sudden he stopped. Then I realized they had another baby, which is probably why he stopped. But he just got a job as a cantor in Greenwich, Connecticut. I don't know if anybody ever goes up there. But if you ever go to the Temple Shalom in Greenwich, Connecticut, he just got a job as their, I guess, cantorial director and soloist. But very, very talented, and I love his music. He's written a lot of melodies that I wouldn't necessarily play in a service, but they're just really fun to listen to. But anyway, Kitetse, he calls it Bev, and I said, how many years ago was it? 2012, what is that, 14?
Yeah.
I said, this week is the 14th anniversary of your bar mitzvah parsha. He's like, oh, okay. But what was cool about Evan was that instead of just doing a Zohar Torah, he actually, when he was working with the rabbi at the time, he wrote a graphic novel about the parsha, and then they did a skit, which was kind of cool. And for Evan, you all know it's on the autism spectrum, he did a little speech, but it was really very creative. So and he was like, yeah, okay, that's nice. Anyway, of the 613 mitzvot in the Torah, 74 of them occur in Parshat Kitetse. Now, over the years, since I've been with you, we've discussed many different parts of this very rich, very intense Torah portion. But tonight, I want to talk about the Torah's command to protect the vulnerable. However you view the Torah, either as written entirely by God and given to Moses on Mount Sinai in its entirety, already finished, or written by people with divine guidance, or even some combination of the two, we can all agree that this is an amazing book that's filled with ethics and answers to decision-making questions that are followed even today, in many cases. So the Parsha addresses times when one person holds power over another. And it specifically pays attention to captives, spouses, children, workers, and strangers. For example, the beginning of the Torah portion, it talks about women taken captive during battle. Many times, I guess this happened in the history of the world, soldiers would take women captive and have their way with them. But the Torah gives specific instructions to force the soldier to slow down. Treat the woman with respect. Yes, you captured her. And if you want to lay with her, that's fine, but you got to give her a chance to mourn her family. And you have to take her to wife. You can't just abuse her. Slaves fleeing an abusive master were protected. They could come into another person's house and protected from abuse. It says they shall be given a place in your settlements and may not be ill-treated. And we're also to protect the most vulnerable among us, both human and animals. So if someone loses an object and it's found by another, it's to be returned. When someone notices another person's animal, if you lose your ox, or you lose your sheep, someone is supposed to return that to you. Or if your ox falls over or your sheep falls over, you gotta go pick it up. Someone is supposed to have enough respect for you and your belongings to help you out. Now remember that these animals, they enabled the Israelites to earn a living. They were assets and tools. They weren't just like pets. Although if you really want to have a pet ox, be my guest. But, they were animals. They were vulnerable. They were working animals. They were vulnerable to mishaps. And so people in the community relied on each other to help take care of those assets. We're commanded to pay workers on time and not skip paying their wages. We're commanded to return lost objects and to leave the gleanings of the fields, the corners of our fields, for the poor, the widow, the orphan, and the stranger. We have to build a fence on a rooftop, on a parapet, to prevent others from falling off of it. But if you're not climbing on a roof, don't put a stumbling block before the blind. Use honest weights and measures in business so you don't commit fraud. Does any of this sound familiar? These are modern things that we incorporate into our daily lives. The ethics in the Torah teach us how to handle ourselves in business and in family and in life. Honor people, don't shame them. Understand that those who are more vulnerable, physically or financially, should be the benefit of our assistance. And this is where a lot of our concept of tzedakah comes from in this parsha. In the Torah, poverty is not criminalized. And social position is not a guarantee of living a good life either. If we generalize these ideas from our sacred texts in modern times, do any of you have any ideas on how you can protect the vulnerable? I'm sure some of you do. Tell them to me. Anybody want to participate? Okay. There are many ways that we can be vulnerable. We can see the vulnerability in the people around us. When we see people in financial need, there are charities, even those here in Wilton Manors, that provide for them next door. I don't have any direction. That next door. Poverellos. They don't just have a thrift shop, which is great, by the way, but they provide essential services for people living with HIV or other chronic illnesses. And they do have great stuff in the thrift store, so if you have a chance to get over there, they've got some cool stuff.
They have a food bank.
What?
They have a food bank.
And they have yes. They provide housing assistance and food assistance. The Wilton Manors city government has an entire web page devoted to informing the community of resources that are available. Housing, counseling, legal support. SunServe is another wonderful organization, and that one is dedicated to the LGBTQ community. Vulnerability has many faces. We don't always see it when we're walking around. And it can appear not only as a financial crisis, but as a mental health crisis as well. But since most of us are not mental health counselors, what do? I refer people to Jewish Family Services. That's my go-to organization to help people who may need it, or even a lot of times they ask. They provide services for people who are vulnerable and can't necessarily afford a retail price therapist. That's what, I wrote something else that says, right, no, that's retail. He takes, they helps us understand that a truly just and noble society is measured by how it treats people with the least amount of power. And unfortunately, those issues are front and center in much of our civil discourse today. So here is what it says and teaches how the values are taught. The poor are not invisible. Truly, you driving down the street, someone's panhandling. If I've got a bottle of water in the car, I'll give it to them. But I try to make eye contact. It's hard. The stranger is not alone. The worker is not exploited. Vulnerable people, men and women, are not trapped. Children are not abandoned. Animals and people are not abused. People are not taken advantage of financially. And the powerless are not forgotten. So, as a lot of you know, Seth and I are the parent of an adult child on the autism spectrum, and when I advocated for him when he was growing up, it was my job to ensure that his needs were not overlooked by those in positions of power. Teachers, school administrators, aides. We had one teacher, what was she, second grade? Miss Fred. Not the kind of advocate you'd want for your kid. We kind of went around her. But it's a very hard job. My advocacy wasn't just personal. I tried to craft my actions to address the needs of my child, but also other kids at the school who faced similar issues, and I often advocated for other kids. And in that same spirit, it's our responsibility to be aware of family and friends and other less fortunate in the community who might need our support. And if we can't support them directly, we can find others who may be able to help them. So if you know of anyone in need, as it says in our shmooze, we are a caring community. And there are a lot of people here with a lot of experience and a huge amount of compassion. Even if it's just listening to somebody on the phone, reach out and somebody will be there for you. Our board of directors, we all have phones, and if anybody needs me, I've helped a few people the last week or two, feel free to reach out, because it's not just about standing up here and singing and doing all this stuff, but it's also about how can we talk to each other to help us not feel small when we all feel so small sometimes. So, let's find the opportunity to fulfill those mitzvot. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We are going to start the closing out of our service with the Aleinu. And we're going to turn to page 282. And if you're comfortable doing so, please rise. We are in the middle of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, ha'tekedu al yotzei bereshit, shelo asanu goyei haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samtel ke'ukahem, v'lo aleinu k'kol ha'olam, v'anachnu horim, v'mishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נותן שמיים ויוצא לארץ ומשה ביקרו בשמיים ממעט ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומי הוא אלוהינו אלוהינו ארץ מלכנו אפס זולתו, קרקעתו ותורתו, וידעת היום, והשבות אל לבביך, Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim B'Shamayim V'Ima'av V'Yol Haaretz V'Yol Haaretz V'Hitzacha Eno. Ki hamalchut shalacha hi ulei atzimlok bechavod kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo and we're seated. This week, we remember the following who passed in the past year. Judy Rabiner, remembered by Mark Rabiner. Jeff Stern, remembered by Jerry Nesson in the congregation. Joseph Mack, remembered by Harvey Graber. James Alexander Carson, remembered by Julie Carson and Robin Gross. Murray Lichtenstein, remembered by Paul Gazzardo in the congregation. Barry Bates, remembered by Stacy Ziegler and family. Martin Harnick, remembered by Daniel Spitz and Howard Chaikin. Louise Carson, remembered by Julie Carson and Robin Gross. Bob Geller, remembered by Harley Green. Andrew Levin, remembered by Louis Levin and family. Dr. Philip Greenberg, remembered by Tim Wyke and family. Solomon Mizrahi, remembered by Adam Perlman. Barbara Hirsch-Kanerick, remembered by Howard Chaikin and Daniel Snitz. Charles Klein Kopp, remembered by Frank Goldsmith. Iris Spivak, remembered by Howard Chaikin and Daniel Snitz. Jack Rosset, remembered by Louis Levin and Louisa O'Connell. Pride Adami, remembered by Marie Garofalo. And our yard site list. Did I say the name wrong, or I got it?
No, I just saying they're all dying.
What?
They're all dying around.
Stop that.
Anilda Acosta, Helen Tommy Bailey, Rose Benowitz, Esther Bonser, S. Kenneth Burnell, Sid Kravitz, Wilmer Edwards, Dr. Morris Eigen, Cindy Farberstein, Benjamin Gantz, Jerry Glazer, Sherry Greenspan Perchik, Jerry Hildebrandt, Sylvia Chipahongan, Brenda Johnson, Matt Snur, Karen Katz, Louis Lackerman, Joseph Levy, Esther Lustig, Abraham Myers, Dorika Mitrovic, Lee D. Moffitt, Francine Mortensen, Morris Picciotto, Ken Robbins, Max Rosichan, Molly Ross, Shirley Myra Shear, Bella Daniels Sklar, Beatrice Silverstone, Leo Silverstone, Willie Serenko, Austin Wasserman, Rosalind Weinstein, and Howard Rogovin. Are there any other yard sites to be observed this week? Oh, Ira. Before I rise for Kaddish, I remember the American and Israeli service members who stood watch for our nations, those who guarded others in the dark hours, those whose duty carried them far from home, and those whose lives ended in the line of service. May the Holy One who brings peace to the high heavens bring peace to their spirits, comfort to their families, and strength to all who carry their memory. As I say Kaddish, I sanctify life in their honor. I join my voice with all who mourn, and I pray the work of their hands helps bring a world closer to peace. Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Those who are in the first year of mourning, please rise. Those who are observing yard site tonight, please rise. Anyone else who wishes to rise for mourner's Kaddish, please do so. Kaddish Yatom, page 294. Yitzgadal v'yitzgadat shemei rabah, ba'alma divrach elutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yolechon, v'chayei v'chol beit Yisrael, v'adalah v'zman hari v'emru amen. Yehei shmei rabah v'rabah, v'yalam ol ameh amaya. Yitbarach, Yishabach, Yitpa'ar, Yitraham, Yitnaseh, Yitadar, Yitadleh, Yithalal, Shemei, Kedusha, Richu. Le'ela, Mikol Berchata, V'shirata, Tushbachata, V'nechemata, Da'amiran, V'yala, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shalom Rama Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Osei Shalom V'rama, Huya Osei Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. And the one who creates harmony on high, and peace to us and to all Israel, as together we say, Amen. Mark, there you are.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here tonight, including those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube. I'll start out once again by reminding everybody that the high holidays are coming up pretty soon in September. All the information you need about the service days, times, ticket prices, and other stuff. There are information forms at the front table, or you can get the information on our website. You need to get your reservations and payments in as soon as possible if you wish to attend any of the services, and especially if you wish to attend the luncheon or break the fast, so we can order enough food. You can also place a greeting or Yitzchor remembrance in the program, but the absolute deadline to get your information in is August 24. So today's 21. That's not a whole lot of time if you want to do it.
And that's because Larry's going away.
Yeah, because Larry's in charge of that, and he's leaving on the 24th. Thank you, Rabbi Marsha, for leading our services tonight. You did a wonderful job as always. Thank you, Larry, for working the front desk, and Louis for working the front desk tonight. Thank you to the following people for making donations this week. Onig sponsorship, Don Squire and Erwin Alperly. Yorkside, Rodney Grooms. High holiday donations, Gary Brown, Jeremy Frisch, Mark Brown, Fred and Shereen Weinstein, Larry Owsley, Harvey Graber, Don Squire, Erwin Alperly, Sammy Peixoto, Howie Sorkin, Nina Britton, Norman Berkowitz, Ed Lieberman, Bill Nissen, Louis Ripmaster, and Michael Berwick. Thank you also to those who generously donated to the Tzedakah box this past week. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by the congregation, so no lox and bagels, but lots of good sweets and salad, including a really cool looking cobbler that Nina made.
Thank you, Nina.
Remember, if you wish to sponsor an Oneg in the future, please sign up on the information sheet at the front table. Onegs are an important part of our congregation, and it means a lot to everyone when we can share some nice refreshments together after services. Upcoming events, the book club is starting a new book this week called Ben-Gurion, Father of Modern Israel by Anita Shapira. And I'm going to call Gary up. Gary is in charge of the book club, and he'll give you a quick overview of the book. This is your chance to get in because we're just starting now.
Yeah, that's a short book.
It's a short
Oh,
book.
that's true. That's a good thing.
3-4 pages?
Thank you. The book that we're reading, Ben-Gurion, who was the first Prime Minister of Israel, also talks about, it's really a book about the whole foundation of the state of Israel. And Ben-Gurion started out as a labor leader in Israel before he became Prime Minister. It was a very rocky road from the 1920s, 30s, into the 40s before Israel gained statehood. And Ben-Gurion had to work with many, many different factions of Israeli society in order to bring the country together to the point of being established as a state. One thing that I think is interesting about this particular book is the author, Anita Shapira, was able to interview Ben-Gurion when she was a very young writer, and Ben-Gurion was a very elder statesman, but she did get a chance to meet with him, and she got to know him. She also had access to a lot of his personal papers, and so it gave her great insight into his life, and I think it should make some very interesting reading. I hope you want to read it and join us at our next book club meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary.
Well, Stephen, he's gonna come up in a minute too.
The next book club meeting is Saturday, October 2nd, from 11 to 2. If you would like to participate.
October 3rd. Saturday is the 3rd.
Oh, Saturday, October 3rd.
See, it wasn't just me.
Okay. October 3rd, from 11 to 2. If you'd like to participate, you can talk to Gary or you can sign up online at our website. There will not be a board meeting in September because of the high holidays. So our next board meeting will be scheduled in October. The next first Friday of the month, Shabbat dinner will take place September 4. Is that right? At the Peter Pan Diner. Please let Don Squire know if you'll be coming so he can reserve a seat for you. Remember, we are here for you as your community. We are your source of friendship and mutual support. We are your spiritual center of gravity. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Sounds good.
Shabbat Shalom. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Louis. I'm president of the synagogue here. Happy to be doing that. Thank you for entrusting me with that honor. The high holidays. Okay, so they're like, before we blink, they wind up showing up. I don't know how that happens every year, but it's like, so we have like 30 plus parts. Everything's a moving part here at Etz Chaim, and everybody has an opportunity to participate because there are speaking parts, there are non-speaking parts, there are Hebrew parts, there are English parts, there are opening the ark parts, there are carrying the Torah parts, there are lots of moving wheels here. But we really need everybody. And I know March has presented this a few times already, and we haven't gotten everybody yet. So you'll find out I'm the kind of guy that will, like next week,
You'll be persistent. I was just gonna.
I'll start calling everybody on the phone and say, okay, so I see you didn't sign up yet. Where do you want me to put you? So
And there's a
instead
lot
of
of English readings, so you don't have to be intimidated.
I'd love for you to pick the one that you want to do. So it's here for you. I'm leaving it right here. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to go right to the Birkat Kohanim tonight, so if you will please rise, we will conclude our service with the priestly benediction. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God deal kindly and graciously with you. Yisar Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bestow favor upon you and grant you peace. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all for being here. Go enjoy Oneg, and if you want to part in the holidays, please sign up. Shabbat Shalom. Kiddush, bracha and Motzi in 2 minutes.